Hello, and thanks for clicking on this video. For the next few minutes, I'd really like to talk with you about how we define value. More importantly, how your customers think of value and how they define it for themselves. Quite often, people that are working in the customer space, when they go to work, talk with customers, or of how organisations want to communicate what they value, will tend to talk about what we do and how we do it. This is all the stuff we do, and this is how it works, and these are all the product features and benefits of all that stuff. And we tend to think, well, that's pretty good. We've explained what we do. But customers aren't really looking for value in that way. Customers are looking to extract value out of organisations from the products and services that they serve and sell. So therefore, there's a whole range of different ways that the customers perceive it than often the way we're selling it. Even if we're selling software, for example, we'll tend to talk about what the software can do, but not actually what the customer has to do to make that software do that for them. So we often see value from a customer point of view as a trade-off. This is what it costs you from a whole range of different cost perspective. This is the value you get. The difference is value. If I was an accountant and I saved my customer $5,000 in their tax bill and I charged them $2,000, I could argue that they got $3,000 worth of value. But that's just a financial transaction. That's just dollars. It's got nothing to do with the value that the customer is perceiving themselves. So customers, in my view, see the way that they extract value from organisations, particularly around four areas. One is they think about their goals. What is it we really want to get out of this? They think about their results. What's the outcome that we really want? The experience that they go through to get it. And sometimes it comes down to community. So if we go back to goals, for example, a goal might be that we want to book a holiday. And in that holiday, we want everything to be seamless. We want the transfers at the airport all sorted out. We want the accommodation all sorted out all before we get there. And if something goes wrong and we booked it through an agent, we tend to go, well, the whole experience just didn't come together. So the value of their service of putting it all together is absolutely gone. Another one might be if there's someone who wants to buy a house, for example. They want to buy the house to live in it. Therefore, they're going to buy their new home. So when they go looking for finance to help them get into their home, banks and financiers will talk about the products. They'll talk about interest rates, talk about what the product does. If you do this one, you do that one, you do one. Make some pretty complicated choices about what it is, and you can get the finance, and then you might be able to buy the house. The customers aren't even interested. They know they've got to go through that process to get the finance to buy the house. But what they really want is the whole thing about getting into the house rather than the product that the organisation is selling or offering. And that comes down to experience as well. So say we stick with the example of the customers buying the house, even if getting the finance sorted out was relatively okay, if it went to settle and there was a whole bunch of problems along the way that were on the bank side of things or the bank solicitor side of things, that would then bring up a whole range of issues for the customer in terms of the experience and the stress that they experienced through that whole transaction. And it would devalue the value they thought they were getting from that organisation. And the last one is really about community. And we can see how some organisations do really well to drive a community perspective for their customers. And let's just say musicians or bands are really good at this. We can see lots of people wearing branded material because those people want to be seen as being part of the community for that particular band or that particular musician. And they're doing that because they want to be part of the community. They are spending money on those products to be part of that community. And likewise with Harley Davidson, which is another great example of a business that built a community who ended up saving their business. It's a well-documented case study of where they were struggling, but their solution to it was to build a community of people that were interested in the lifestyle and the products, therefore, that they sold. And therefore, everyone's happy to wear their brand and be associated with that. And that's building community. That's where customers get value from being part of that community. So we need to think differently about how we go to communicate value with customers. We need to be thinking about the goals or the results or the outcomes that they're trying to achieve and use language that's in harmony with what the customer's trying to get out of this, the value that the customer gets from the whole interaction with us. We can think about the experience. So the experience in the sales process is often not considered. We often want to think about customer experience design in terms of service or processes online, But the sales experience has to be congruent across the whole chain. So the customer then has a congruent experience and a harmonious experience in that customer onboarding or customer engagement process. And then we can also build about communities. How does community fit in to part of the process we have in terms of engaging with our customers? Thanks for listening. Let's try and engage with customers at a deeper level and define value more clearly. Thanks for watching.